One of the most One of the most asked questions in the history of fandoms in the United States of America has been, what year does Star Wars take place in? And it's a frustrating question because when you try and look for answers, you end up coming up empty-handed many times. I've gone looking numerous times. Does anyone know what year this is set? And they'll be like, oh, it's 9 after the Battle of Yavin. And I'm like, or Yavin, not Yavin. Just fucking, oh god. Anyways, they say that. I'm like, I don't mean years as in Star Wars years. I mean, like, compared to, like, real years. Like we're in the year 2017. How far in the future is this thing set? And you know what people say that really makes me mad? You know what really, really grinds my gears? Well, it's not set in the future. It's set in a galaxy far, far away a long time ago. Well, number one, dumbass, it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. So you already got shit wrong there. But number two, I've got one question that will totally disprove that this is set in the past. 70 to 90% of the characters inside Star Wars are human beings. Like, there's more human beings in the story than there are aliens. So please explain to me how, if this is in the past, there are human beings in a faraway galaxy flying in spaceships and fighting each other with laser guns and lightsabers and shit. In the past. Do you understand that we only went to space for the first time in the 50s? And that wasn't until 1969 a man set foot on the moon? Like, we're not anywhere near this technology level yet. So there's no way that this could be set in the past if in this current day we're still not at this level. I mean, there are some ways that that could work, but they never take the time to explain that. And the farther back they try and set it, the worse it gets. For example, I saw on Wired recently, based on the age of the stars in Star Wars, it's safe to assume that Star Wars is set 4 billion years ago. Once again, dumbass. Why are all these people in here if this is 4 billion years ago? Homo sapiens did not appear until 100,000 to 200,000 years ago. That would set this thing so far back in history that, you know, life on Earth was like, at best, freaking, you know, single cells. Yet somehow we have people out in space fighting with lightsabers and shit. Why are there human beings in space 4 billion years before human beings appeared? That doesn't make sense. Like, you're ignoring basic known science and history. So it's obvious to me Star Wars doesn't take place billions of years in the past. Like, we know that this shit takes place definitely within the time span that human beings appeared sometime. So when does Star Wars take place? My theory, which is not a very well-defined theory, this is not something where I like did a million hours of research and have some specifics. My theory, my basic general theory is that Star Wars takes place thousands of years in the future. And when they say a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, that's based on the narrator's point of view, who's telling this story after this shit happened, you know, instead of our point of view. Because by our point of view, this shit is most definitely not a long time ago, but more like a long time in the future in a galaxy far, far away. I mean, fucking look at this shit. You're telling me this happened in the past? You're telling me... I mean, I saw another guy claim that, based on some research he did, that took place in 1772.
The fuck?
Motherfucker, in 1772, the United States was trying to break away from Britain. In 1772 was the fucking, you know, the different tea protests that were happening in our country. We were fighting with muskets in 1772. We didn't even have electricity then. Are you kidding me? In 1772, we didn't have cars. We didn't have trains. We were using horses to get around. You're telling me that this motherfucking bullshit with lightsabers and spaceships involving people was happening hundreds of years before we ever went to space. Do you understand that that doesn't make any fucking sense? Now, movies like Stargate developed the storyline way better. You know, what Stargate says is basically that long, long ago, thousands of years ago, aliens came to the planet and took human beings as slave labor. Then the aliens died or some shit. God only knows what happened to them. So the human beings were on planets throughout the galaxy and therefore developed their own civilizations and cultures out there that later became more advanced than, you know, the human race on Earth. Star Wars does not do that, nor do the people theorizing that Star Wars takes place in the past. All they say is, it's the past. That's all I can say. Well, you still haven't explained to me why then there's, like, human beings in here, okay? As I said, it makes way more sense that this takes place far, far, far away in the distant future than it does that this takes place in the distant past. The farther away you go in the past, the less likely it is that Star Wars takes place then. Okay? So, in the end, you can look all you want. There's really no relation between the Star Wars saga and, you know, the modern day. They've basically made it where this takes place in a totally unconnected world. Another thing, by the way, that tells me that this takes place in the future is there's no reference to Earth. What that makes me think is this takes place so far in the future that humanity just left Earth and said fuck it and totally forgot that there was an Earth to begin with. So because of that, you know, it's safe to assume that this story is a futuristic story, just like Star Trek. Although based on the technology in this, I would say this takes place way farther in the future than Star Trek does. This makes Star Trek look like the Model T and the 1800s and Henry Ford. So,
come on, big boy.
damn, now you're finally reaching like some real opposition. You're not just killing random people anymore. This dude out here killing kids and shit in this game. So that's all from me right now, guys. That's just my theory about when Star Wars takes place, which, you know, I don't really know when it takes place. I'm just saying I think it takes place probably very far in the future, not the past. I'm going to be releasing actually another Star Wars related video later, either today or maybe tomorrow, who knows. Like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, you know, if you like my shit. I'd also encourage you to go, you know, like, comment, and subscribe to some other channels that I know personally, such as Fable Master Gaming, you know, or Archduke Luke, if you want to go subscribe to him. He's got some shit, you know, you may like his shit. You may.
You're not gonna like that shit. Why you lying?
You're right. I shouldn't fucking lie to these people. Oh yeah, go subscribe to D'Amico's Hill. What do you do?
I rant right now.
He does a lot of ranting, just like me. He just began his channel recently, actually. Is there anyone else? Nah. I hate everyone else. Fuck them. So yeah, my hand's moving around all over the fucking screen like a goddamn deranged butterfly.
Well, get the fuck out. Thank you.
Kill that motherfucker. Peace out, everyone.